Senator Rounds.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Dr. Miran, first of all, I appreciated the opportunity to visit with you in my office. I will be the third member in a row to recognize and to reinforce our need for a very independent Federal Reserve Board. And I actually enjoyed our discussion and the fact that you clearly laid out for me the understanding that you had a different role as an independent member of the board and that your independence was very important to you. Let me just work my way back through this a little bit, because sometimes when we're trying to get all of our questions in a 5-minute period of time, any of our members can sometimes really want to get a yes or a no answer where yes or no answers really don't work. So let me just talk about some of the things specifically to the board itself. Do you see a difference between the role that you would play as the chairman of the Board of Economic Advisors to the President versus being an independent member of the board on the Federal Reserve?
Thank you, Senator. And yes, I was grateful for the opportunity to sit down with you in your office, and I also very much enjoyed that discussion. There's a night and day difference. As the chairman of the Council of Economic Advisors, someone is a principal in a White House as part of a political administration. The Federal Reserve is an independent agency whose independence is critical to the well-functioning of the economy and financial markets. And the responsibilities of the jobs are very, very different. If confirmed to the Federal Reserve, I will behave in an independent manner based on my own analysis of the economy, of economic data, of inflation, employment, and the effects of economic policy thereon, and act in my own independent analysis based on those evaluations.
Would you say that it's fair for the President of the United States to lobby the Federal Reserve in terms of moving things in a direction that he believes can move the economy in a direction that improves the life for the American people?
Thank you, Senator. As I said before, I think it's really important in economics, as in many things, to hear a wide variety of views, because you have to challenge your own views and make sure that what you think is really right. And the best way to do that is to hear a whole variety of opposing views and interrogate your own position. To me, that's very important. So I will always be happy to hear the opinions on monetary policy of everyone who's got an opinion, so that I can help evaluate whether my position is actually the correct position and whether I really should be believing the things that I believe.
That would include allowing the President to lobby. Fair enough? Nothing wrong with the President lobbying.
The President is entitled to a view on appropriate monetary policy, as is everyone else with an interest in the subject, and I welcome everyone sharing their views.
As part of your role as chairman of the Board of Economic Advisors, wasn't part of that to carry for the President the message that you believed was appropriate to improve the quality of life for Americans by improving the economy? And wouldn't it be reasonable that you would have a very similar point of view than the President did? Otherwise, why would he be working with you, and why would you be working with him on trying to formulate those views in the first place?
Thank you, Senator. Yes, as the Council of Economic Advisors is tasked by the Congress with advising the President on appropriate fiscal and regulatory policy to achieve full employment and stable prices and prosperity through the American economy. The President selects people based on his evaluation of their qualifications and their policies. And I assume that he nominated me to the previous position because he liked my policy views.
You were asked by the ranking member a number of questions in pretty fast order. I want to give you an opportunity. Anything in particular that you'd like to clarify or make more clear with regard to any of the comments? I'm just going to give you just a few seconds here before I move on, but anything in particular that you'd like to clarify or correct?
Thank you, Senator. I do think that independence of the central bank is of critical importance, and that's why when I look back at recent behavior and see things like climate being worked into the Federal Reserve's policy agenda, it strikes me as politicization of elements of the Federal Reserve that ought not to be politicized. And if I am confirmed, I will forcefully push back on the Fed straying from its core mandates that were assigned to it by the Congress.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Pilkerton, I want to just put this for the record. I want to thank you for coming to meet with me in my office in July. I think you are a very accomplished public servant, and I believe that you're very qualified for this position. want to thank you for your willingness to work with me to get the PASS Act across the finish line, and I do look forward to working with you to get that through and protect our military installations from foreign observation. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thanks, Senator. Senator